today discussing about how do we actually improve upon the efficiency of backtracking algorithm. Especially we know that backtracking algorithm may actually, although the state space depth is limited, but it may actually need to navigate many unnecessary nodes in order to understand that it is navigating into a wrong state space and then to return from it and take itself to the correct path towards the node where the goal state is present, or the goal configuration we should say is present. It's going to be time consuming. That is, the time complexity of the backtracking algorithm is a kind of concern, although we are sure that some or the other time we are going to get the result. But as the n increases, number of variables increases, state space size becomes very large, and handling such large configuration problems are not that much feasible with respect to time complexity. That's why we need to concentrate on finding out some efficient solutions over the backtracking algorithm that usually does a depth first search on the state space up to depth limit n. Okay. Now, just to give you a perspective, what all three options I do have to improve upon the efficiency. Number one is I can actually decide uh, in a much better fashion which variable to choose next from the list of unassigned variables, and that particular strategy would could yield me solution maybe early than otherwise it is expected. Okay, second place which we can attack for making the algorithm more efficient is how do we order values in the domain for a variable. So we may decide to choose a ordering ordering for the values in the domain, and based on that particular ordering only we should order the values in the domain. So that's another kind of way of improving upon the efficiency of backtracking. And on top of these two things only will help me to get into a state space region which is more closer to my goal node. But this won't still resist me from going to unnecessary areas, unnecessary subtree areas, before I realize that there is no point in going ahead in that particular region. So there must be some way to stop early going into a subtree which is inevitable going to be a place from which you need to backtrack. That is, it's not going to get to the solution sub area or sub region in the state space. So these are the three options, and we'll look them one after the other. So first change or first improvement in the backtracking would be to decide upon how we choose a variable. Should we have any criteria to choose a variable upon? Will having a criteria get me to the solution quickly than otherwise I could reach? Second, does the selection of the variable plus ordering of the values would give me some sort of interesting results? Okay, I can have these two things independently worked upon, or they can be together worked upon in a single update to an algorithm steps. Okay, further the next improvement would be, even with these improvement also I may find it not that much getting speeded up. So can I make it more speeded up by actually avoiding unnecessary venturing into a subtree? That is what the third option actually tells you about. Now the next the first option is to decide the sequence in which you get to a particular variable, or particular you select a particular variable from an unassigned variable list. Okay, so there are various heuristics, and now understand that this particular word heuristic used over here is not in consent with the word heuristic function that we used in informed search. Although here also we are trying to use certain information from domain that will give us more idea about which variable to choose from unassigned variables. But these are not going these particular heuristic values are not going to tell us how far we are from the goal node or how close we are to the goal node. That is, that numerical sense, these particular heuristics are not going to provide us. So what these heuristics are going to give us? These heuristics are going to give us some kind of strategical choice from the set of variables that we have. Okay, so to choose from the next variable in an unassigned list, first heuristic that I can uh, define is, the name of the heuristic is minimum remaining values. So I would actually observe which is the variable amongst the unassigned variables that has least number of domain values available to replace with. What will this do is, this will actually restrict my branching factor a lot. This will restrict my branching factor a lot. So I will be navigating to a region of state space which has smaller and smaller branching factor as I go along in the state space search. This is what this particular heuristic is going to provide me. So please consider what would be the effect of it. The effect of it would be, as I go deeper into the tree, there are more chances I navigate to a wrong subtree, right? So as I go deeper in the tree, if I'm using this heuristic, I'm going to follow paths which are shorter and shorter with respect to branching factor. Hence, as I reach to the conclusion or concluding uh, leaf in that particular path, in that particular direction, that will happen soon. As that will happen soon, I will realize soon that I can't go further. So I will backtrack sooner, and then I will reset my direction towards the other subtree or other side of the tree. So that is what is this particular heuristic is providing me. Now, how people arrive at this heuristic, minimum remaining values, how do I actually arrive at? So what they will do is, in the definition of state CSP problem, I have constraint graph. So if you remember, we said that one of the feature of the definition of my CSP problem is constraint graph that shows the constraints put on different variables. How many constraint a variable participate in can be judged by looking at this constraint graph. So what does constraint graph tell us? It tells us how many constraints does a variable take participation in. Okay, so I can know which is the most constrained variable looking at a constraint graph, and that is where the idea of minimum remaining value. So most constrained variable will have least value from its domain to choose from, and that is how this heuristic is arrived. So heuristic is used in actual implementation, whereas the most constrained variable is kind of a definition that tells us which variable in the constraint graph is most constrained variable. ओके, किस वेरिएबल के ऊपर ज्यादा से ज्यादा कंस्ट्रेंट है. What is the participation of each variable in the constraint graph? So looking at the constraint graph, we can quickly identify such variables that may be giving us some idea about exploring the state space in a much better manner. And the better manner here is, as I go down in the state space search, I'm going to navigate lesser and lesser size subtrees. That is what I explained 2 minutes back. Now going ahead, next kind of mm, issue that we may actually get into when we are using this most constrained variable strategy is, there may be a situation where I have to have a tiebreaker because there are multiple variables that are most constrained variables. It may be a scenario like that. So most constrained variable, if I'm using, I will choose to color this region which is at the heart of this map. Okay, because it is connected to most of the other regions. So this region is connected to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regions. So it is going to have a constraint rating of, I could say, 5, whereas this region has 2, this region has 3, this region again has 3, this region again has 3, this region has 2. So depending on that, I can identify the regions with most constrained values. I can sort them accordingly. So this is the region, this particular region which I'm showing with my arrow is the region number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which I should choose first. Then I may kill that region from the graph. So I'm just choosing a color, say blue, for that region, which is the next region to choose from. So I should choose a next most constrained region amongst the other. So you'll find that this region is having constraint value or constraint rating of 3. This also has constraint rating of 3. This region, this one, also has constraint rating of 3. There are 3 regions to choose from. Should I choose the one in the middle here, second, or choose a third? Should I choose third, or should I choose fourth? So that's the place where I have an issue if I'm using this particular thing. So there must be some way to do the tie breaking, and that is the next thing that you can have in the algorithm as modification. We are not going to deal with or talk about it in much details, but there has to be some strategy to do the tie breaking in such scenario. That's the whole idea about how I can improve my backtracking algorithm to improve its time efficiency. So we're talking about time efficiency, and if I use the most constrained variable as my strategy, okay, then I may get into a situation where I may lead to a scenario where I need to use some tie breaking strategy to further boost this particular technique or support this particular technique. So that's all what this particular slide tells you. Now another heuristic that I can actually use is least constrained variable. So जैसे हमने branching factor को kill किया था, तो वैसे ही least constrained variable also provides us a nice little idea that allows us to get a heuristic about how do I navigate the state space in CSP search. So whenever I'm using state space search for CSP, without actually depending upon depth first search ability to navigate the state space, we could help DFS by providing certain heuristic values. One of such heuristic values, second such heuristic value is least constraining value. So I may actually, given a variable, choose the variable that has least constraining value. So as such a least constraining value अगर है कोई किसी वेरिएबल को, तो वो वेरिएबल कम से कम पार्टिसिपेट करेगा. सो दैट इज द टोटली अपोजिट टू द मोस्ट कंस्ट्रेंट वेरिएबल. ओके, सो मोस्ट कंस्ट्रेंट वेरिएबल का टोटली डायग्रामेटिकली अपोजिट चॉइस हम लोग यहाँ पे कर रहे हैं. ओके, so what exactly will happen if I choose this strategy or this heuristic function? The one that rules out fewest values in the remaining variable. So what it means, so if I choose least constraint value at this moment at the root node, it will impact very less to the domains of other variables that are in the unassigned list. Okay, hence I'm going to get deeper into the tree sooner. Okay, that is what, so it's exactly opposite that we are going to do. And please understand, it looks on its what you can say, on its onset, it looks like we are not actually following a better strategy. Most constrained variable would be much better version or much better strategy, but for the specific problem of n queens, I can actually solve n queens with n equals to 1000 over n equal to 25, which was feasible with backtracking search. So if you were there for the yesterday's discussion, I said that there was a remark in the slide as well. Using the raw backtracking strategy and a CSP problem, we can actually solve n queens up to n equal to 25, okay, which is feasible. So other things are not impossible, but they are so time consuming that we won't envision solving those problems. Okay, so that is the issue with the backtracking strategy. So how much improvement we get by using these heuristic value, especially with least constrained value? There is a quote in the book where they have actually noted a study that showed even n queens with 1000 value of n, so 1000 cross 1000 board, a very huge board, chess board. It's all imaginary chessboards. By the way, you'll say that itna bada chessboard kahan hota hai? But we want to scale up the problem. So what we are trying to understand here is, if I scale up the problem, how good my algorithm is going to look like. So I can find out easily the solution. Easily means, this word easily is very subjective in this way. It could take hours to get you the results. I'm not saying it is not going to it's going to do things in say minutes